Okie dokie, we're gonna hop right into it. If you're new to the channel, let me try and quickly catch you up. I'm Sinopal, and I'm nearing the end of a game project called Lost Hearts. Lost Hearts, it's a platformer where you play as a ghost searching the level to find a piece of their heart. In order to assist you in the search, you can launch a skull out of your face to defeat enemies. Sounds cool, right? Don't get too excited, I'm new to game development, I'm only making the tutorial level for this project. Sad face. Okie dokie, you're up to speed, now let's get into the project progress for this week. I was sick this week, but I did manage to get the death animation for the slime snake enemy done. After completing the super sweet death animation, I thought getting it to play in-game would be the easy part. I was wrong. It happens. I was hoping all I needed to do was to have the animated sprite play the death animation and I would be good to go. But nope, all that ended up happening was the slime snake would go poof before the animation could fully play. But hark, on the horizon, could it be our savior? It is! It's not a bird or a plane, but the animated sprite signal, animation finished. So, as the name implies, it sends a signal after an animation ends, but I didn't want this signal to run a function every single time the animation ended. That seemed stupid. So instead I think I did something smart. I connected the signal only when the slime dies. Once the slime dies and the death animation ends, the death function is called, which deletes the node. Once I got that working, I needed to prevent the player from dying if it hit the enemy while the slime was in its death animation. To do this, I remove the slime from the enemy group and prevent the slime from killing the player. This next update has haunted me for a while, and I finally got around to fixing it. Are you ready? Silent drum roll, please! I fixed how the text displays on the info signs. So how they displayed their text before was off-centered and just plain not good looking. I mean, look at that. It's disgusting and embarrassing. But now they look like this. Behold the artistry, the absolute genius it took to create it. Okay, calm down. It's not that impressive. Text is now centered above the sign. It floats above the sign at the same height no matter how long the message. And the black box behind it makes it readable despite what colors are in the background. How did I do this, you might ask? Well, calm down and I'll show you. The major thing I changed was instead of changing the message label's contents every time I want to hide it, I just changed the label's visibility. This made what I did next much simpler. All the centering magic is done in the function called center text. What it does is get the size of the rectangle that contains the text and moves it to its center on the info sign, and it also moves the text box up until it's 30 pixels above the sign. The black background box is a color rect that's a child of the label. I make the background a little bigger than the text so the text doesn't feel shoved into the box. Then I nudge the background box a little so it's centered behind the text. The last bit is I only call this function once during the info sign's lifespan. This is because the sign and its text are static and won't need to be constantly moving. I use a boolean to lock this part of the code out after it's set. So that's it. I may have been sick this week, but I did manage to get something done. So if you enjoyed what you saw, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have a suggestion or just want to tell me how awesome I'm doing, leave a comment. And as always, please have a good day or night whenever you're watching this, and have a good one. Bye.
But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me.